Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your independent fragrance consultant. So this day I have a very long overdue, it feels like, what I've been warming. Tons of Scentsy. I have been sorting through things, changing things over for springtime, putting packets together to mail out to some of my most recent and loyal customers, and I have been digging through the stacks of wax and found things that I really wanted to melt as a change of pace. So I'm going to start with the scent of the month that I just reviewed last night, and then we'll work through a lot of things that are coming in the annual catalog next Sunday, which will be March the 1st. There will be a midnight launch and just all sorts of bits and bobs and odds and ends that I have been enjoying throughout this, I don't know, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks between what I've been warming videos. So let's just dive right on in. First off, I do have that promised scent of the month. This is Clover and Blooms. Clover, apple, and freesia. Wow, is this strong. It's a beautiful scent. But even though a friend had warned me that it was going to be a strong one, we went out to dinner last night, and when I came home, I had put a couple cubes here and a couple cubes there, and it was too strong. It started to give me a headache. I shut most of the warmers off and opened the windows. So next time, I'm just going to put a cube in one warmer and maybe a cube in another warmer farther away, and we'll see what happens. But this is a boomer. The scent is lovely. I just think that I wasn't really thinking through how good of a performer it was. And when you have a clean and fresh scent that can get astringent and overpowering, that can give me a headache. But it's a great smell. So next, I did kind of an interesting mix one day. My favorite of all the newer scents is white tea and cedar. And this is white tea, orris, and cedar. And it wasn't one-to-one in a warmer, but different warmers. I was mixing this with one of those bars that I unearthed that was just kind of laying around, a very old one called Wally, which is a very green and clean smell. And I still got 2 cubes of this left, but this greenness mixed in those different warmers with a lot of the white tea and cedar was a really good cleanse the palate, winter's almost over, spring is around the corner kind of a mix. So if you happen to have both of those bars, do that like 2/3 of the warmers with the white tea and cedar and 1/3 of the warmers with the Wally or something similar that's a bright green, fresh, dewy green smell. Fantastic. Another thing that I did, and I think this was just a standalone bar, was Pink Berry Sandalwood. This is coming back in the catalog on March 1st. This is a beautiful smell. It is warm, it is cozy, it has a very sweet cherry, it's got tonka, it has sandalwood. It is a happy and cozy scent. And I'm pretty sure that I paired that with Cocoa Cashmere. Now, Cocoa Cashmere is sort of my new love. I have been using this all over the place, in the bedroom, in the Florida room out here, in the front room, in the kitchen. I may have gone through a couple of bars. I just have one clam to represent that. But of all the things over the last few months where I think I found a new all-purpose bar for cool weather, Cocoa Cashmere is definitely it, and it hits the spot for after Christmas for sure. So that one has a nice chocolate orchid note, and it's got the cashmere notes and a cozy, almost perfume body care scent, but it's really good. Next, I think this is the only really hardcore bakery day where I took a couple of my favorites, apple butter frosting, which is going to be one of my all-time forever favorites that's in my club, that is creamy apple butter with beautiful vanilla icing. So good. It's rich. And I did that in alternate warmers with oats and honey, which I do not have in my club. I just have a few bars from clearance updates. So the oats and honey is much more toasty and golden brown delicious. And putting that with the apple butter frosting, it smelled like a cake or maybe a quick bread. It was just delicious in the house. So then another day, because a lot of this was around Valentine's Day and beyond, I was doing a lot of sweet things. So sugar, again, I picked up quite a few bars of this in clearance hauls lately. So good. So this is Lemon Drops and Cotton Candy. It's a Scentsy classic. It's fantastic. If that one were to come back, either that or Pink Haze, and bring back my bar or some other classic type collection, you guys really need to lock that up in a club, because as things continue to change with Scentsy and where they're going forward, a few of these that are just their old school favorites, when you see them, you either need to club or stock up. Anyway, another one that's similar that isn't as easy to get is the Mix It collection. This is spun sugar and vanilla. So it is similar to sugar, it just doesn't have that lemony undertone. It's a little bit more creamy, I guess, and it's such a lovely scent. I didn't buy this many times when it would be in clearance or in a flash sale because I thought, it's gonna be boring. It's very sweetly complex and simple at the same time. It is not boring at all. Another one that I had in my club for years, but I just haven't gone through enough bars, and now I have like 4 or 5, and of course I'm hoarding them, is Love and Happiness. Now this is chestnuts and vanilla, and it's another one of those interesting gourmand, almost like a sweet body talcum powder kind of a deal too. It's such a strange scent. Hard to describe, but it's super soothing and comforting in the middle of the wintertime. So those were all those sweet, pink, fluffy, cozy smells. Then another one that is similar, but a little bit different direction is Starburst Sky. Now this one is a little bit more musk, and it's perfume that almost has a cigarette ashtray leaning quality if your nose is sensitive to that. But this has grown on me a lot, and it will be coming back in the catalog March 1st, so that is a good one. Then one that is just perfumey and sweet and gorgeous that was in last year's Valentine's collection, I think, is Apricot Cloud. Now, this is nice and strong. This is an apricot musk. This is one where if I saw it in clearance, I would get a stack. It wasn't quite clubbable for me, but I really like that. And then one more that was from last year's Valentine's is Sweetheart Sugar Cookie, and this is sugar cookie with a really delicate hint of pistachio and a lot of sweet cherry. And it still doesn't throw very well. So 10 out of 10%, like 3 out of 10 for throw. I put all of it in this room pretty much, and I still could barely smell it. So unfortunately, good in the cloud, not good in the room. But they were nice, and that got me through right around Valentine's Day. Next, I did a couple bars of the Blooming Hyacinth and Santal that is current. This is Coconut Hyacinth and Santal. This is a soothing smell, absolutely. I have Mountain Sunset in my club. It has a similar profile. I like that one slightly better, and I've talked about this, I know, multiple times recently, but I just keep trying to check it out to make sure that I'm not missing out on something before it goes away. And it's really nice. This is a bar that I think would be good in May or June. Just really soothing, classy, not exactly beachy, but I think it could be mixed with beachy scents. I've got a little bit left in this one. So would I pick up another bar of this? Possibly. Do I need to club it? No, but it's nice. It's really nice. Then there was one more day where I did some kind of spicy and slightly bakery to give you that cozy cuddle factor. I did a Clam of Welcome Home, which will just continue in the catalog. This is the sort of quintessential, everybody is okay with it spice smell. It's a sweet cinnamon that's very gentle. To me, it's almost like cinnamon sugar that you would sprinkle on toast, and it almost has a little bit of a floral potpourri quality too. It's a good bar. It's just something that for me as a spice lover, it's somewhat forgettable. But again, this time of the year when I'm very much over all the fall winter drama and I'm not ready to be melting fruit, it's a good thing. I paired that with Winterberry Apple Tea, which is also going into the new annual catalog. And this one's a little stronger. This is more of a winter smell, but it's comfort. It has apple, it has black tea, it has cranberry, it has a cozy factor that is deep, and it is sort of fruity and slightly spicy and comforting. And then I think on the same day, I threw some cinnamon buttercream into some warmers because I wanted to have a little bit more of a bakery factor. This is a bar that hasn't been around for forever. A friend mailed me a stack, I think last year, and I'm so grateful. And this one is just a cozy buttercream mascarpone. Sort of says coffee cake with cinnamon, but it's more just a really nice, rich, but mellow bakery blend. So those were all truly winter appropriate. Now, as I was looking at things that I was sorting, I did just feel like I needed a hit of fresh, more herbal wax. So last week I got into Blue Skies and Bergamot, which is also coming in the catalog. This is so pretty. Now this is very summery. It's stronger than it was last year when it was a scent of the month with that really cute glowing mushroom cap warmer. But this one is lovely. So it has that airy blue sky quality. It has bergamot, maybe a little bit of lily of the valley in it, but it smells like summertime in a very, very nice way. So I would get some of that if I were you and you like anything that has that really refreshing, almost ozonic quality. It was great. And then Sorrento Breeze, which was one of our summer collection 5-bar bundle last year. I liked it before, but it was really obscured for me by the Santorini Blossoms, the Sun-Drenched Cotton, and of course Italian Sunshine, which wasn't in that collection, but I was just melting that like a mad woman last year. This is nice. So this I think has cucumber and mint and some sort of like wild greens. This is good. Get this when it comes out in the catalog. And that'll be a good scent for a clean smell in March that's also kind of watery. That one really surprised me how nice it was as a revisit. Next, I dug out some Sun-Drenched Cotton because I was not sure it was coming back. Thankfully it is. This is also in the catalog. So good, you guys. It still isn't super strong, but it's a very pleasant, soothing scent that's comforting, but you could still do this on a hot day. It's not too heavy. So this has that cotton, has a little bit of like a citrus, but it's not like a zesty citrus. It's just, I don't even know. It's like citrus laundry in the best way. It's beautiful. This comes in cleaning products and it's just fantastic. The next one is Disney's My Wish. This is like a lemon with a little bit of sugar smell. This is old, like this has not been around for a bit. But when I was sorting things downstairs, I realized just how much of it I've got. It's kind of like lemon lime fizz without the liminess. It was good for this time of the year. I have a few left. It's not something that I'd like fight anybody for in clearance, but it's pleasant. And it was good with the Sun-Drenched Cotton. Then the basement, which I haven't told you guys anything about the basement in forever. I finally did some cleaning down there, got things reasonably settled, and I put some wax in. Now, I may have shown these bars to you the last time I did what I've been warming, and I didn't clean out my bin, so this is a double exposure, whatever. But Midnight Masquerade is like beignets. This is weird. It's like florals and beignets and muskiness and some smoke. But it was good. It was good in the basement. It was cozy. It was kind of hazy and very nice. And then I did that with Dashing, which is not in the current catalog. I haven't seen it in clearance lately. I don't even think we could put this in that gigantic epic November Club It All kind of promotion. This is beautiful. This is mahogany, clear night skies, and I think vanilla. If you see this in clearance, you should get some. It's a very elegant bar. Very good. So then back to things that were closer to Valentine's Day. I had been unhappy that I accidentally got some rosewood and freesia when I thought I was getting pink curtain birchwood for my mother out of clearance. You know, that 4 a.m. bleary-eyed, you're trying to make your order so that you get what you want thing. But you know what? It was a happy accident. This, right now, in the middle of the winter, I've never loved this bar. I love this. So I think I have this one in another full bar. I only used a few cubes because I did it as a bedroom melt. This is beautiful. It smells like you went up north to Granny's most elegant Victorian hotel. And I loved it. I'll probably melt some more this week, actually. So you may see this back to back on purpose. So rosewood and freesia. It was ages ago. A December scent of the month. I didn't like it back then because I was wanting just woodsy. This is not woodsy so much to me as it is some kind of a complex, perfumey, woody smell. And I don't remember what's in it. It says rosewood and freesia. It must have some other blossoms or maybe a birch note, but it was very good. And then I think the next day I put plum and white woods in instead. And this one is definitely a little bit more juicy. This is one of those bars that's famous for disgusting discoloration. It turns this yucky, it's supposed to be purple, but this yucky purple gray. But it's a soothing scent. For me, this is great this time of the year because this does have those white woods and then this plum blossom elegance. So that and the rosewood and freesia, those are not the kind of bars that I normally grab, but they were really nice. Pretty much everything that I did these last couple weeks was either the fruity candy stuff for sweet and syrupy Valentine's-y, or was palate cleanser type things that I never melt. So another one of those I never melt it is Dragonfly Inn, that was in the adorable collection that had to do with Gilmore Girls last fall. Now this is another one that has that hotel quality. This has plum, it's got sandalwood, it has a lot of sharp and clean, but also warm smells. and it was nice. So that one I did on the same day as White Oak Woodland. Now this I really haven't reviewed except for that very first bar that I got last, August, as new release for fall. This is an interesting scent. I like it, but there is something about it where I think I want more juicy plum to balance the woods, because it's almost like there's a fluffy cottony note in here, and then there's all the white oak, and there's this plum that's trying to come through, but it's not quite enough. I think I ordered one more bar cautiously because I thought I might want it in the middle of the summer when I'm bored with, seagrass and sand and strawberries. But I'm not going to club this for sure. And it's one of those where you just you want it on a specific day. Now the other one that was similar to this one, I think was called Black Currant and Plum, and I still have some bars of that. And I like that one a little bit better because it was heavier on the fruit, but it still had all the wood. Anyway, I digress. But one day I needed some of the lovely Petals and Peaches, which is coming in the catalog. This is such a happy bar, you guys. This would be pretty with the peach and amber bar from January too, if you have both of them. Oh, but this is juicy. It has this elegant peach. It has amber. It has some sort of floral, and it is perfect. It's just a perfect, happy scent. It's feminine without being too sweet. I cannot say enough. This is one of my favorite bars from this last couple weeks melting. So gorgeous, and I'm so happy it's back in the catalog. And to go with that, something that I put into my club, Sweet Christmas Lily. And when I was doing these two, one of my kids came out and said, "Oh, Mom, that smells fabulous." So if you happen to have both, do them in alternate warmers, and you're going to have a beautiful floral paradise, but the peach part of Petals and Peaches will keep it from being too old granny floral, and it's just so nice. Another day, I was hoping to do something kind of cozy and cabiny because, as you can see, we had snow, then we had this whole week where there was no snow, and it was fantastic, and now we have snow again. So this toasty cabin and wildflowers and sage I think I did when there was snow. And here's my other new mug. So these were both collections at Target, full dish collections. So the way that I keep myself from buying things, I don't need another coffee cup, but not buying full sets of things that Elizabeth doesn't need, is I'll just get the cup. Just one to show you guys on the channel and put into my mug collection. But where was I going with that? Anyway, the toasty cabin and the wildflowers and sage. I don't know if I finished that thought, but that's okay. This one was part of the hookah collection ages ago when cavemen ruled the world. And this is so nice. So this is a toasty cabin with a little bit of manly flannel cologne. It's just gorgeous. And I paired that with wildflowers and sage, which was in our Wild Horses and Wildflowers August collection last year. This is a nice bar. It has a beautiful sage and then a little bit of a cottony daisy type flower and just a little bit of almost a smokiness. So these two are nice together. And I still have another full row of doubles, you guys. I really enjoyed my wax. I think I did more white tea and cedar, so that one's not really fair as a double. And then I finished up red cedar and sage. So there were definitely some woody but clean scents that I did over these last couple weeks. This is really nice. It's powerful. It can be a little bit funky depending on your mood. So the red cedar is definitely cologne-y, aggressive cedar. And the sage dials it back a little bit. I used to try to melt this in September, but then it would frustrate me. And I mean, this was available years ago. I don't even know the last time that this bar was in clearance, honestly. I don't even know how old that is. And I would like it, but it just didn't have the resin and the pine and the things I was thinking for fall and winter. But it's really good this time of the year. And then I grabbed some Luxe Vanilla. Beautiful. My kids love this. They're like, "Mom, what is that gorgeous smell you've got going?" So this is very much like a baby powder, bath, comfort, bubbly scent with vanilla and some laundry. It is really elegant. That was Bring Back My Bar not that long ago. I got a few but did not keep it in my club. And then one that I want to pick up more of the next time it's available would be Inner Peace. And I think this was a BBMB or it was a bundle of some kind. This must have some lemon in it. and then it has some herbal notes, but it's slightly powdery, went nice with the Luxe Vanilla. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And that comforting, soothing, almost spa, but not too sharp smell. And then good old coconut lemongrass, which I just like. Been melting a good bit of this lately. I think I have another bar on order. So this is just lemongrass and coconut. It's always available. You can get it as a brick, you can get it as a bar, you can get it as all the things. Just a good standard scent. Then one I have not melted in forever is 100 Acre Wood. And this is like cotton blossoms and jasmine, and it's small child, cozy, cuddly. To me, there has to be some lavender in here somewhere. This is a beautiful smell. And then a few things that I was doing sometimes like in separate places, and I have one more pair, which is kind of an odd combination. One day I just wanted something orange, but I didn't want spicy orange, so I reached for some Sweet Tidings, which I love, and it is in my club. This is cedar, and it's gotta have some sugar in here, and sweet orange. And you could really say this is a festive scent, but at the same time, it's just a cozy, warm scent too. So I did a whole bunch of this in the house, and then just because I'm trying to get through some of these weird clams that I don't use a lot, I did some Mandarin Splash, which I think Sweet Tidings could have had a better pairing, but this was also a citrus scent that wasn't spicy. So this is a little bit more driftwood and the Mandarin and some other spring summer note. The Sweet Tidings is decidedly fall winter, and this is spring summer, but they were both orangey and it kind of worked. So, and then Country Plum. This was recently in clearance. This is just a really nice plum and oak smell. I probably wouldn't pick it up again, but I'd never had it. And when you see Aussie Plum, that's worth getting. That is a sweet vanilla, gorgeous, gorgeous plum smell. I have a couple bars of that, but I would pick up more of that one for sure. But this was nice, but kind of forgettable. But this whole oak and plum and woods deal, you can see I did a lot of that. So I'm like, let's just try this one too. And then I had half a clam left of Be Fabulous. Now this sort of just stood alone. There was nothing else in the house like it. This is a really old bar that some people probably still have in their club. It's a gorgeous limoncello and grapefruit scent. It is so happy. It's so nice. And I think I've had the opportunity to either buy some or club this. I haven't melted it in so long. I forgot how good it was. If I can get my hands on more of this, I'd buy a couple more bars. That would be a perfect late spring scent. And then the last couple things that are Scentsy, and I have one vendor wax item. I promise. I wanted to melt more vendor wax, but I kept going through all these half clams of Scentsy, and I'm like, I just want to get this thing done. But anyway, Ocean Shimmer coming into the catalog March 1st, really pretty. Citrus Sea Spray, it's light, but it's really gorgeous, very soothing to me. And then I don't remember what's in here, but I'm trying to get through all of the weird clams. So I put some of this in older daughter's bedroom. I probably will go in there and change her wax and put these last two in. This is sort of a fresh with a little bit of fruity, watery scent. Don't remember the notes at all, but it's decent, so we're getting through that. And then last but not least, my one vendor wax item. Nothing else here really screams wintertime, but I was craving just something smoky and resinous and piney one day. And smoked tobacco, or tobacco and smoked spruce from Teddy Bees, it's just fabulous. Tobacco leaves, amber spice, fireside marshmallows, and deep smoky evergreens. I'll probably get back to melting more balanced ratios of things, but as I was working on all my Scentsy stuff to be able to send out all my packets, I just was down the Scentsy rabbit hole trying to deal with all these loose half bars that I need to get rid of, you know? Oh, but this is so good. And yeah, it's Christmassy, but it's also just really good for winter, and it's so nice. The tobacco leaves and the amber, and that fireside marshmallow keeps it from being too sharp, and the smoky evergreens. I just love the resin and the smoke and the pines. And from Scentsy, Black Forest Pine is a great pairing with this. So if we have more snow, maybe I'll even grab a thing of Black Forest Pine and do these two to use the rest of this up this year. Because I have, 6 more days of February. So February is kind of like melt the candy, think about spring, and then whatever it is for winter that you wanted, you can still grab it and not feel silly. And then I was sorting a lot of wax to be able to get a more green and clean, appropriate basket ready for March. And a couple more things. I'm going to put this at the end of my video. You guys can pause this, but I will also put it at the end. There have been some interesting developments in the world of Scentsy and YouTube lately. I'm not going to go into all that. All I can tell you is that I asked some questions of some people, and there are some promo codes that have been made available, and I want my customers to be able to benefit from this little trend that's going on right now. So you can take the codes that you'll see at the end of this video. I do not know how many days these will be available. I'm guessing maybe to the end of the month. Excuse me. And you can take any of these codes, Victoria 10, Megan 10, and Crystal 10. And if you go to the checkout area of your basket purchase on my website or your consultant's website, underneath things like you can use PayPal, you can use a credit card, there'll be a little slot that will say you can add a coupon code. These coupons are good one time. You type it in and it'll be $10 off of a $50 or more purchase. You can't stack them or anything like that. But since it's already a sale month and you can add this $10 off of anything over 50, if you were thinking about making one last purchase before the rollover of the catalog, and these may even be usable longer, I'm just not sure, I wanted to make this available. I did say in my edit video that I emailed all of my customers. First time I've ever done that, and I even needed to ask my director, how do you send out a mass email? And she kind of showed me what I needed to do. But I want to thank all of you who have walked with me as your consultant, maybe first time purchase recently, or you've been around for many years, or you just watch my videos and you're gonna use this on somebody else's website. I don't care. I just want you to know that I appreciate the investment that you make in us as Scentsy consultants, and it's not taken for granted. So have a fantastic day, you guys, and I hope that you enjoy the new catalog. A friend of mine had a warmer from the kit that I didn't get because I was too busy packing for our vacation and getting Greg off to Kenya and all these things, where she didn't like one of these warmers all that well. So we chatted, and also neither of us are super great with technology, so we kind of bumbled through figuring out how to do a cashless payment transfer and all this. But I have this beautiful warmer that I will be using this summer that she sent me. This is the Lustra or Lustra. And it is so pretty. I'm glad that she thought of me, and I'll show you that it does nicely fit. Let's see. I think it should nicely fit 4 cubes. And I wasn't sure when to show this because it's not really a haul. So I'm like, you know what? We'll just throw it in at the end of this video. I haven't used this yet, but I think this could make a really good element warmer, as far as it's got a nice wide open dish, and I think it will display and also throw the wax very nicely. And then on the bottom, let's see what it is for wattage here. Let's take the cubes out. This is 10 watts. And sometimes the wattage isn't as important as how the heating element and the wax interact. I don't know, but I just think this is really gorgeous, and I was very thankful to my friend that she was willing to discuss me being able to get this from her. And I just appreciate all of you that are in Scentsy land, and I'm looking forward to continuing to have a relationship with you guys in the future. So have a great day, guys. God bless. Bye-bye.